Hello everyone, this is Real World Audio, and today I'm talking about music, and I will be introducing my favorite contemporary musician, Vangelis Papadancio, and he is, I would say, the most amazing musician of our time, and I would consider him in the line of the classical composers, because when you look back and look at what Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, and the other great composers have done, is that they have all introduced a unique world of music. They have added something that when you listen to them, you become more. You acquire something that you did not have before. You get connected through the world of music, through the language of music, to ideas, to thoughts that you never knew existed before. And in our ages, today in the 21st century, and even in the 20th century, we do have orchestral classical music, and we have modern composers, and most people regard them as the descendants of the original lineage of classical musicians. So if you think about, let's say, Monteverdi or Bach or Handel, and then like Tchaikovsky, and today you would think that their successors would be today's contemporary classical musicians, because they use the same instruments that Bach used, the same instruments that Tchaikovsky used, and a similar setup, basically, that there's a conductor, there are violinists, and there's a wind section, there's a simple bass section, like simple drum section, which is basically there's a timpani, and that's it. And but I would say to you all that I do not see this as the progression of classical music. If Mozart or Bach would be alive today, they would not be composing works like contemporary classical composers compose today. I think it's going where classical music is going. It's going really off the track, where Mozart, Handel, and Bach, and even Tchaikovsky were active. And I think Vangelis is much more the successor of them. So I think if Mozart would be alive today, then he would be very close friends with Vangelis. And of course, Vangelis approaches music quite a bit different compared to classical orchestra, but his world that he shows us through the use of our modern instruments that we have is just as complete as the world that Bach presents for us. And please be mindful that all of the famous classical composers, they were using the most advanced music instruments of their age. So it's not a wonder and not a coincidence that Bach was the peak of the Baroque period, because the contemporary of Bach was Arp Schnitger, the famous organ builder, who created the peak of church organs, and the peak of the Baroque organ building coincided with the peak in composing works for them. So it's no wonder that Arp Schnitger and Bach were contemporaries, And of course, when you think about that, since then there was a lot of development in organ, and there came the French Cavalier Choral School, and which was added a lot of extra loudness, SPL. So it's kind of like the loudness, start of the loudness wars, more power to it, deeper frequencies. And then came the US, the American School of Organ Building, which even increased the peak volume, it increased the number of pipes, and basically the queen of the instruments in the US turned into the king of the instruments. But what people forget is that the actual harmonic combination that the modern organs, that the US organs can reproduce, the viable combination between the different registers is much lessened compared to an ARP Schnitger organ. So basically today's organs, which are the kings of the instruments in the new world, they are I would say like big giant synthesizers, and they are instruments of show versus Bach's era's ARP Schnitger organs, which are much more modest in output capacity, so they do not win the loudness wars at all, but the purity, the beauty, and the I would say the presence and the sophistication is just light years ahead of what we have with our oversized, Titanic-sized organs here in the US. So circling back to Vangelis, is that just like Bach used the most high-tech instrument, music instrument of his age, which was the ARP Schnitger organ. And then when you look at Beethoven, he used the piano, which was the most high-tech instrument of his age. And then let's fast forward to Vangelis. And he uses electronic instruments, which are the most high-tech instruments, music instruments of our age. And he truly has created something which is, I think, in a completely unique category, and is just very far away from the pop music, contemporary music, or even the music which is the modern classical music, which is basically film score music. And film score music, that's what it is. If you look at contemporary musicians, that's what they do, film scores. And in comparison, Vangelis, he creates those deep works. You just embark on the same soul-searching journey where you would embark with Bach. And the difference is, with Bach, you are using the 16th, 17th century era, that feel. And with Vangelis, you get submerged into the present and into the future. And you are not bound into the past of mankind, but you are free to explore not just the Earth, but also the solar system and the entire universe. And here I'm just showing you my Vangelis LPs. I haven't found all of them. I have a couple more which are not here. Maybe I will start with the new ones, Rosetta and Nocturne. And so the Nocturne is a piano album. These are double albums, so 2 LPs each. And Rosetta, that's music for space exploration. It really takes you out into space. Nocturne it's a piano. He just plays the piano, and it's really, if you want just a quiet evening, then you put it on. I have not listened to them much. I just recently got them less than a month ago, but what I can tell for everyone who is looking for Vangelis is that he is not a one-track man who. So if you have that mentality that, oh, let's pick the favorite song from the album and play it, that doesn't work. Yes, Vangelis has really amazing songs. So for example, if we look here, this is a single album, the song titled Alpha. If you listen to this song, just this song alone, this is just a single LP, it has the potential to change your life. There's many people today who have become astronomers because of the influence of this song. So yes, Vangelis is that sort of musician, that he has that kind of effect, that he can really change your life. And yes, he has songs like that, but truly his works are such that if you want an evening of contemplation, then you just sit down and listen to an entire album from him. And his albums are a complete journey. Each album is a complete journey. And as you listen to the entire album, that's when you will comprehend his message. And often, if I just want to go deep into listening music, I just put on one Vangelis record for the night, and that's it. I don't listen to anything else, only that. So now let's have a look at what are the big milestone in Vangelis, what are his records, or some of them that I can recommend for you. And if you look him up, he is a very, very prolific composer. He has amazing records out there, and lots of them. And each of them are very different. So he's not that type of musician where if you have heard one music, you have heard everything else. They are drastically different from each other. And that's one of the beauty, that he offers just an amazing perspective, an amazing range for his works. And at the next video we shall continue exploring the different albums of Vangelis. So thank you, please like, subscribe, and listen to Vangelis. Bye bye.